What's up, everyone? Hey, American Crochet Association. Selena Baca here, founder, host, lead educator with the ACA. Of course, kind of fumbling my way through technology a little bit. So if you are watching live, come on over, say hey, say hello, tell me where you're viewing from. I'm trying out some new ways to bring our crochet along to as many people as possible. So that's kind of why I'm doing this video right now, especially live on our YouTube channel. Just trying to reach as many people as possible in the best way possible. So I'm just trying some different things here. Okay. So bear with me a little bit. And again, any helpful feedback is always appreciated. So the Cascade Cardigan is our crochet along throughout the month of July. It, of course, is free for everyone who's part of our crochet membership. So if you are part of the crochet membership, you guys can find the link in the video description to click on over, log in, get the free pattern, and follow along in all the different parts of this crochet along. We, of course, have had quite a few parts in this crochet along this month. This is actually part 6. 22nd July. I'm going through all my notes right here. Part 6. So we've gone through quite a few things. We started with yarn, what yarn to choose, what yarn we made this design with. We talked about swatching. We talked about size. We talked about fit, dimension. We talked about how to add the different or how to construct the different parts of this cardigan. It's a really interesting shape. So it's actually 2 motifs that are sewn together. So we talked a little bit about that too. So today what I wanted to talk about was just the finishing part of it. And the reason I'm doing a video like this instead of a tutorial, this is literally, I have my cardigan, I'm doing this, this is what I'm doing. I'm actually redirecting our members of the American Crochet Association. I'm directing them to course material so that they can learn how to do these things for any crochet project and specifically apply it to this particular project. That just happens to be my teaching style because I already have lessons that will help you with any crochet project. So really these crochet along challenges are just there to kind of redirect to certain lessons. And that way you can really get a firmer knowledge and understanding for how to apply them, especially for things like this. So I have a little sample, a teensy, like a baby sample, like half of a cardigan that I've been working on to show you different aspects. So today I just kind of wanted to do, I wanted to talk you through how to block something like this, especially if you've never done it before, because so many of you are saying, it's a garment. Do you have to block it? Wait a minute, I'm going to be wearing it. I have to wash it. How do I kind of navigate through this? So I've already kind of talked a little bit about how when you create your swatch, of course, you're going to be creating your swatch for a lot of different reasons. So it's not just for matching stitch and row height. It's for quite a few other reasons. And I specifically said that when you make your swatch for this, do a few things. Maybe make a little mini version of this. You don't have to make as much as I have, but you certainly can. And maybe actually make a little mini cardigan. And when you do that, what you're looking for are quite a few things. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Whenever you sew in your yarn ends, your joins, wherever you're finishing your project, you're going to have yarn ends. So a lot of times with some projects, we can just kind of tuck them away or ignore them and it's fine. But when it's something that you're going to wear, you want your ends to be as secure as possible because the fabric is going to shift while you're wearing it. And you don't want ends to come undone. You don't want just the weight and the motion of you wearing the thing to make it become less stable, especially in the seams. You also want to test out whatever joining or seaming or sewing technique that you've done, that it's going to withstand whatever care instructions you have. So for example, if the yarn you're using, if the label says that the yarn, therefore the fabric, can withstand the washing machine and the dryer. If you want to test that out before you make this entire thing and put all your time and effort into it, this little swatch that you make, this is what you put into the washer and the dryer, or hand wash only, all of that. Okay, so that's what you're going to do with this little swatch that you make. So swatches have a fantastic purpose in that respect, because it's not something that you do for one thing, size and gauge, and then go, well, I just wasted all my time and effort, right? So garments especially, it's a fantastic resource to have. Because let's say you're looking at your yarn label, your yarn label says, machine wash on gentle. Well, what solution are you going to use? What's that going to do to the yarn? What's that going to do to the fabric? Is it going to stretch it out? Is it going to shrink it? What does maybe the yarn label tells you can do something, but the actual fabric that you've made and how you've constructed it, maybe it needs something a little more gentle. So you can figure that out with your swatch and take note. Your yarn label may say that something can go in the dryer, but I like to test things really slowly. So if something says tumble dry on low, okay, well, let me start there, but let me start in really small spurts maybe. Let me check it after 10 minutes. Let me check it after 15 minutes. What is the fabric doing while it's in there? Is it getting really misshapen? Is it just, is it just pulling the fabric? Is it shrinking the fabric? What is it doing? You're testing all of that out on this small swatch, again, because whenever you make the thing, your actual garment, you're going to have a better understanding for what is not going to work and maybe what will work. Now, blocking. A lot of people have questions about blocking, and we've talked a little bit about you can block your swatch to see what it looks like, right? Am I going to wet block it? Am I going to dry block it with steam or with spritzing or water or something like that? This is where, if you want more information on blocking and you're part of the crochet membership, what I'd like you to do is refer to the finishing lesson, lesson 4, because that's going to not only give you an overview of blocking, it's going to shorten my chat from an hour and a half down to just a few minutes on the subject of blocking. It's going to really explain what it means to wet block something, what it means to dry block something, when you need to pin, when you don't need to pin. So again, if you are trying to see how you're going to block this piece, I would recommend blocking the individual pieces, because remember, this cardigan is 2 pieces then formed together. So it's a lot easier to block smaller pieces for quite a few reasons. One of them is that the material that I've used is cotton bamboo blend, Kobu. That's what we've used for this. So depending on what yarn you're using, maybe you're using the exact same yarn. If this whole garment is going to be wet blocked or put in the washing machine, cotton and bamboo absorb water. They're very absorbent. This thing is going to be so heavy. So even if, let's say, you put it in a sink or you put it in a tub, you laid it flat, you completely soaked it, then you left it in the tub or in the sink, and then you let a lot of the water kind of dissipate, you'd still have to, what I'd recommend is you're going to roll it, right? So it's laying flat, it's wet. You don't just pick the whole thing up, right? So you kind of have to construct it in a way to where it's going to roll, and you're going to wring the water out in a really gentle way in very small movements. And then you're going to continue to wring in a very gentle way in small movements until you can transfer it to a towel or a drying area. And then that's when you're going to shape the item, because however it is, that's whatever shape it's in, that's the shape that it's going to dry in. So you want to make sure that you have both of your motifs together. You're blocking them at the same time. Either you're blocking the entire cardigan or you're blocking the 2 pieces separately, because it will be easier to do. You want to make sure that they aren't misshapen. So you want to make sure that the arms are the same length. You're not blocking one arm 6 inches longer than the other arm. Same thing with the bottom hem. You want to make sure the bottom hems are even and straight across, and that one end isn't 2 or 3 inches longer or shorter than the other. So that's where it really comes into play, that things don't always need to be pinned, especially when they're larger. They don't always need, all of that fancy blocking things. Sometimes it helps, especially if you want to make sure that everything lines up and that it's as crisp as possible. But it's not. It's not. I don't want to say. I'm thinking like crucial or necessary. I'm trying to find a better word than those, but you can do it without those items. Just be careful that the way you're blocking your item is assuring that the fabric isn't getting, misshapen in some areas, and that it's really it's lining up and measuring equally on both sides. So that's my recommendation for that. And again, my recommendation is also to check out the finishing lesson 4. As you're blocking again, and as you're going through, am I washing it? Am I drying it? Am I going to hand, wet it and things like that? Make sure that however you've sewn in your ends, because I do recommend sewing in ends for a garment like this. Make sure that the way you've sewn them in, especially for the yarn that you're using, is really withstanding whatever kind of washing cycle you're going to go through. Because if you have sewn in an end in a particular way, if it comes undone, then as you go to make your cardigan, now you know that you can try maybe a different method or a new method. Maybe you thought you were sewing in your ends, but really you're just weaving them in. Maybe you didn't sew them in enough. So maybe you sewed them in maybe an inch or two, but maybe you need maybe a more zigzag pattern. So there's also going to be some resources for that as well, just so you can kind of get a better feel for different kinds of finishing methods, especially ones that are going to work well for garments. So that's what I wanted to share with you. That was the conversation I wanted to have. I hope that you're enjoying these chats like this for this crochet along. Crochet alongs are kind of a new thing for us at the American Crochet Association, because again, we really want to encourage our members to go through the learning material so that way they can really apply that material into completing fun items like this. So again, we'd really love your feedback, questions, comments, anything like that. It looks like Linda Russell is joining us. So hello, Linda Russell from Indiana. It's so good to see you here. And she's the only one that wanted a shout out. She's the only one that gets one so far. All right, everyone. So that's all I have for you guys today. That concludes all of the talking points for this Crochet Along Challenge. Again, you can find all of the past videos, all of the resources when you click on the link in the video description, and either log in if you're a member of the Crochet membership, or you can get started today. It's really quick and easy. And once you enroll, all the information is right there for you, including this Crochet Along. So with that note, I'm really excited to share our live finishing party next. Of course, all the people who are completing these, all of our members who are completing these cardigans are posting their projects and their works in progress, and they're sharing pictures. And so we're going to kind of have like a little virtual fashion show. We're going to look through all of those finished projects, and that's going to be right around the corner. So you guys can get those details when you log in. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being part of the American Crochet Association. It is a pleasure to serve. Peace, love, crochet, everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.